Hello, everyone. I'm Anthony, and I want to talk to you this week about the two quests I've chosen and why. I chose quest number one and quest number four, and as you remember, quest number one was to create a creative space. I had a lot of fun with this one this week. I've been wanting to create a space to do my schoolwork and my music and stuff for a while, but it's been tough because the wife and I bought a house last year and we've been renovating it. It's old house, and so that's been taking up a lot of space. Well, basically the only place I had to do something like that was in our bedroom, kind of in the corner. And so here I'll show you what that looked like. This is a very honest representation of the disorganized ADHD that runs rampant through my brain. Now, as you can see, I have very limited space to work with, so I wanted to not only make the best of the floor space that I had available, but also the vertical space, using the walls and everything, because I have very tall ceilings. They're about 9 feet tall, and that left me a lot of extra room. So, to try and maximize that space, I took some influence from a culture that I love very much, the Asians, specifically the Japanese in this case. And I took this low table that I had, and I'm using it as a desk. And so for that, I needed a floor chair. So then I found myself at the local thrift stores searching through for anything I could find that I thought would make a good chair for this very low desk that I now had. Now, this is the little chair that I found, just a little kitchen chair. And then at the same place, I found this nice little blanket and this really nice little cushion here. Now, I went ahead and I cut the legs down on the chair and I upholstered it with the cushion. I put the cushion in place over the seat because it was really thin. It would not have been comfortable to sit on for, long periods of time. And then I took that cute crochet blanket and I used it to upholster the chair and put a little fringe on it, turned it into something that was nice to look at, kind of, steampunky feel, which is something that I absolutely love, and something that was very comfortable to sit in. It's got a great soft chair, but it's got a nice straight back support to help with your posture and your hips so that sitting at the desk working all day doesn't kill a person. You know what I mean? Now, the next step for me was to fill my space and surround myself with the things that inspire me, things that daily shape who I am, things that I aspire to be, things I want to learn or have learned. Um, just all these different objects of inspiration that I have in my life. And so this is everything that I pulled together, and this is what I came up with. Now, I thought we'd kind of start with the space as a whole, since this is pretty much the same angle as my before picture. You can see how it's definitely drastically changed. And I'm really liking it. I'm very happy with the process that got me to here where I'm at now. So if we come in closer, I'll show you the more specific things and why I chose them. Well, I figure we'll start with my books. Books have always been a huge influence in my life. I'm a very self-educated person. Loved reading everything from fiction to nonfiction, history, futuristic, everything. I've got my Nat Geos here, I always love Nat Geos. I've got hundreds of these things. These just happen to be some of my favorites. I have drawn inspiration from these things like crazy over the years. We move up here. This beautiful charcoal drawing. This always reminds me of home. We have a farm in the family, and this just always reminds me of that and the childhood of playing in the orchards and like the simpler times in life, I guess, and how things change. This thing goes with me everywhere. I love this thing. It's nothing special, but what it means to me is definitely something. And then making use of that vertical space that I was talking about. Here we have my bass and my cello. And coming over here to this wall, we have my guitar. And I was able to even fit my clock in, which I still have to set the time and everything on. And then I was able to even get in my amps for my guitars and my bass. and my terrarium here, which unfortunately I did not have time to plant yet, but that's on the list for this weekend. I love gardening, and what could be better for the longer days than coming in here and sitting with some fresh plants and everything that you love. And then moving on to my little desk here, my little sitting desk, and my small chair. This is how it turned out. I think it turned out really nicely. And so that's a tour of my creative space here. And you know, it may not seem like much, but I look around here at everything that I built and all the introspection that brought me here. And this was fantastic. This was such good fun. This was a wonderful quest, and I'm more than happy that I chose it. I this was fantastic. That's all I really can say about it. And this space here allowed me to sit down and work on the second quest of this week, which I chose number 4. Now, this one was actually a lot more difficult for me in a lot of ways. As much as I love art, from cartoon boardwalk sketches to the oil and waterworks, paintings of the masters, I was not born with any real physical art talents at all, like drawing or coloring, painting, none of it. I got none of it. So this one was really cool because, again, I had to sit down and really think about what is play to me? What does that mean? What do I actually get joy out of? What things really can I sit down and do for no reason, other than to do it, to enjoy it. And then I had to find a way to turn that into a presentation for you guys, into this, this coat of arms, this shield, and try to represent myself in a way that I think is honest. And so this is what I came up with here for that. And what we've got here is my shield, my coat of arms. The compass itself, the Explorer brand compass, represents the explorer in me. I think it's my biggest play personality. It's everything I've ever done is because I'm looking for new experiences. I'm looking to explore new knowledge and new places. And I feel like it deserved the biggest part of this. On the compass itself, you'll see that the 4 cardinal points, I've got the collector there going north. I collect everything. I love to collect. I love to create. I'm a storyteller, and I love a good story. And I love a good time. The Joker in me, I love to play, and I love to prank, and I love to laugh, and I love to bring brevity and excitement to life. And then I just laid that on a traditional, classic shield that I thought would represent the love of exploration and of storytelling and, building something that kind of ties this all together. Now, the 2 main concepts that I focused on this week were the personalities of play and the actual qualities of play themselves. These 2 came together to form a concept of what play actually was in my life and what it meant to me. Now, during my introspection this week, I was able to use the qualities of play to discover that I love play. It turns out that a lot of aspects of my life I had already incorporated these play qualities into, that I had already eliminated a lot of things from my life that I didn't consider to be good for my mental health. Job conditions that were poor, toxic friends, toxic relationships of any kind. And I had moved more into a focus on joy in life, which turns out to be based around making sure that you're getting a healthy amount of play in your life, even as an adult. It had even helped me discover that a lot of the things that I was still doing in my life were still just to put on a front for other people that was unnecessary. The other main concept that really stuck with me this week, the personalities of play. Um, Honestly, I would have never thought that play had so many categories, so to speak, like that so many things were considered play in different categories. I kind of always just thought of play as like video games or board games, playing tag as a kid, jumping on trampolines. I never really thought of exploring as a play, as collecting as a play. Um, but it turns out that everything you do every day can be chock full of joy and contentment, which I think really is what play brings to the table. And you can do these things and still be a responsible adult and produce meaningful results in your life. Making sure your bills are paid and your children and family are taken care of, or yourself if it's just you. Um, you know, it's really a really cool concept that has actually drastically changed the way I look at things in my day to day life. Altogether, both of these quests in the end really got my creative juices flowing in my head. I mean, the creative space really made me sit down and think about what my inspirations in life were. What is it that drives me to get out of bed and to create something, whether it be poetry or music or just trying to make a better world around me one little bit at a time. It really it really just kind of brought all these vague ideas and like random bits of my life together into a coherent structure that really drives who I am, and it helped me to discover that drive, that okay, that let's do this kind of thing, that I know where I'm going now. The coat of arms was tough for me. That it was really tough. I didn't want to create something artificial and fake, that didn't feel like me, um, but trying to express myself through a medium that I'm not very good at was quite challenging. Um, I really had to step back and kind of look at how I wanted to put it to paper and still have it, hit all the notes, so to speak. Um, this has been wonderful. This week has been awesome. Um, it's been very eye opening and very educational, and I'm really looking forward to next week and the next projects to come. Thank you for your time, everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful day.